Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today it's Sunday and it's August 3rd, 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you're a return viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets, so you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know I sincerely thank you for your support. So feel free to like and to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. And our story today comes from the Marine Corps base here at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, Camp Lejeune Marine killed in fiery kayak crash, another Marine facing charges. I'll provide you with a summary here, and as always, I'll identify some of my sources for you in the description box. Sadly, reporting today on the loss of life of another Marine, and it's a death that investigators believe could have been prevented. Now, the tragic incident took place on July the 24th, 2025. I waited for a few days before reporting on this case because the news sources were essentially just repeating the same basic information from the crash scene, and I wanted to see what news data would be forthcoming. Now, it all started with news report of a major accident that shut down traffic in both directions, but the accident was primarily in the westbound lane of Interstate 40 at mile marker 287, and it was impacting traffic flow of nearby highways as well. Very early in the news reporting, we were made aware that there were fatalities, the number not mentioned, but we knew that at least one person was deceased. But the key is that we were advised to avoid Interstate 40 in both directions as it was be shut down for several hours for a crash investigation. And here's a sequence of events as reported by investigators. Investigators say that the incident began when a gray 2012 Honda Accord was traveling at very high speed and executed an unsafe lane change. This unsafe maneuver caused the Honda to collide with a 2016 Mercedes-Benz traveling in an adjacent lane. The impact triggered a loss of control. After striking the Mercedes, the Honda veered off the road and hit a guardrail before slamming into a white Ford pickup truck that was marked in the median due to a flat tire. The Accord then came back onto the road, hitting a Ford Focus. The Accord then ran off the road one last time and hit the guardrail and then landed back in the middle of the road. Now, after the incident, the passenger of the Honda was transported to Duke Medical Center, where he was pronounced deceased. No other life-threatening injuries were reported from the scene. Now, the driver of that Honda was identified as a Marine from Camp Lejeune here in North Carolina. Highway Patrol investigators say that he was charged with numerous offenses to include misdemeanor death by motor vehicle, careless and reckless driving, and unsafe lane change. And in case you're wondering just what's the status of the Marine who was charged in this deadly accident, well, that information was not available. Only thing I saw really was his name and his age. But beyond that, I don't know if he was assigned a bond or how much the bond was determined to be. That information was just not printed in any of the sources that I read. Now, let's return briefly to the deceased. As you recall, the passenger in that Honda was pronounced deceased, and he was identified as a Marine Lance Corporal Jesus Alexander Cullen, also of Camp Lejeune. So both individuals in that Honda were Marines stationed at the same base. The passenger died, and the driver was charged. He was charged with manslaughter and for the death of Lance Corporal Cullen, and also for reckless driving. Now, there was not a lot of information available about the fallen service member and his military career, his awards and decorations. And you may not think that is important, but if you have served, that information is important to share. So I tried very hard to locate it. I just could not find anything, but I did locate his obituary. So this is what I know about the fallen Marine. As already mentioned, he's from California. He spent his early childhood living with his grandparents in Mexico before relocating to the U.S. to live with his parents in California. He has a baby sister whom he simply adored. The obituary spoke about his love for sports, for music, and that he was intellectually gifted. He played the guitar. He was a great soccer player. He was also gifted at playing chess. I'm not sure when he entered the Marine, but considering his age, he probably entered right after high school, completed his basic training, his specialty training, and then got an assignment at Camp Lejeune. According to the obituary, fellow Marines remembered him as a genuine soul, someone who was always ready with a helping hand and a warm smile. And this is the final remarks from his family as printed on his obituary. It says, as we bid farewell to this remarkable young man, we take solace in the memory he leaves behind, a testament to the extraordinary life he led. Jesus' departure is not an end, but a reminder to live each day with the same compassion and zeal that he embodied. And it appears this was a young man who was greatly respected and loved by his family. And finally, I did see notice of his visitation and funeral, and that's printed on the obituary as well. And his visitation is on Sunday, August the 10th, and his funeral mass is scheduled for Tuesday, August the 12th. That's all printed on the obituary. Now, I'm sure there'll be a notice letting the public know when he's scheduled to arrive home so that the general public can pay their respect for him coming home on this final journey. I didn't see that information. That'll probably be printed or made available to the public as the date gets closer. And so, another brave warrior has completed his journey. We may never fully understand what has happened, but it was all part of his destiny. So, Lance Corporal Jesus Alexander Colin, your mission is finally completed. So rest well, my friend, and thank you for your service. And that's all I have for you right now. Feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And by all means, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on the bell that looks just like this one, that's the notification bell. If you click on that notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.